at you. Chicken napping.
That's sad.
Grabbing that chicken.
He'll have me in the backyard doing this. Oh, no.
She is. She's going to talk about that rooster. She was in here chicken napping a minute ago.
What?
Showed me a video of her kidnapping that chicken.
Oh, chicken nap. I've never
Chicken
even heard
napping.
that before.
She grabbed him through the window.
Chick napping.
Oh, golly.
Well, here we go.
Here we are. Are we starting already?
I guess so.
I started with Lorraine's chicken story, so
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
my-
gonna make it.
we can. I'll figure where this.
Was it a good story? I heard y'all
Yeah,
laughing.
it was really, well, it was funny to me. She's got a big, beautiful rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, some of those things are just incredible. Some of those chickens,
Yeah.
roosters.
Well, but
Colorful and
oh yeah,
the feathers that they have.
like almost exotic.
Yes, they
Yeah.
really are.
You like the.
I think my sister-in-law has some of those up in, she's up in Vermont or New Hampshire. I think she has a,
chicken.
and she's at Stowe, the ski resort
Oh,
up
yeah,
there. They have
yeah.
a big bed and breakfast thing. I've only seen pictures, and it's beautiful.
But they have
I
chicken
think they,
coop
I
as
think
well?
they've got, yeah. I think she has, and they're really kind of funky looking chickens. You know?
Some of them are weird. That's like the thing to do these days. You know, if you're, if
Well,
you're
I
health
understand
conscious.
that they're
and-
trying to pass a law to where you can keep chickens in your yard now.
I thought you already could. Can you not do that?
No, if you could, my daughter would have them over there in her
Really?
yard, along with a goat, and
Is it like, she wants to do the goat thing too? I've heard of
she
it.
wants chickens. I know that.
Do you know that you can rent goats to like clear your property?
I don't doubt it.
I
They'll
would-
eat anything.
I was talking with some church members about this the other day. Yeah, you can just rent a pair of goats and you put the stake down in the ground and they will just completely clear that area
Oh, yeah,
and then
they
you
will.
move the stake.
They'll eat anything.
It's amazing.
Have you ever seen those fainting goats?
They're
That
running
is
along
so-
and then just keel
go
over.
You know, you make some kind of noise and they just.
Yeah.
That's it.
But goats, what a gift from God goats are. You've
So
got the
much of
fainting
wildlife,
goats.
yeah.
You've got the screaming goats.
Oh, I know they're hilarious.
Those are so funny. You had a bunch of those on your Facebook feed for a while, right?
I did. There was a guy on my staff in Jacksonville that we used to send back and forth, goat videos or pictures or whatever. Oh gosh.
We watched this. We were watching it with the kids. It was this, isn't the animal kingdom amazing? One of those documentaries.
Yeah.
And the goats are climbing up like the side of the Hoover Dam.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like this. It's a sheer cliff, and they're climbing up just because there's salt that comes out as the water comes through, or
And
something
they
like
lick it.
that.
Yeah. When I go to Israel, I always take my group to En-Gedi.
Yeah.
And I will tell everybody, all right, if you're physically able to do it, we're going to climb back to the very back to where the waterfall, back there to the cave where David was.
Yeah.
And we go back that way, and it gets pretty sheer cliff back in that area. And those goats, you see but they call them ibex, I think.
Yeah.
Over
I
there.
mean, it's
they
similar,
stand
yeah.
on the side of those. I mean, they can put
Yeah.
their little hoof anywhere on those things.
They did a close-up of the hoof, and it's almost like the different sides of it are kind of rubbery and can
Yeah.
move up and that sort of grip as they go up. And I watched that thing, and I was like, isn't it amazing how evolution over billions of years shaped those hooves so that they can perfectly climb?
That's so comical. That is just comical to us. Most of the world says, "Oh yeah, it really is."
right.
And I'm thinking, "Oh my word."
It is, that's
we got an amazing, an awesome, as Daniel calls him, an awesome and great God who. You just look at some of the stuff and you think, what was in the mind of God when He made that?
It's wild. It's wild. Well, and it seems like every time we think that we've got it with okay, we've categorized all the animals, and we know all the rules for the animal king. then you see something like
New stuff pops
yeah,
up.
well, like the duck-billed platypus. That's the one that people go to because, like, is it a mammal? But it lays eggs, but also it's like reptilian. It's like got a poisonous bite, and it's got a beaver tail and all these things. It's just like
I think God
so
threw
fun.
a couple of those in there just to freak everybody out. Just to, you know. I really do. I think God does have a humor.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he threw some stuff in there like that and said, this will just blow your mind right here. Let's watch and see how they try to explain this.
I watched this video a couple of weeks ago, and I know you know all about this because you're ICR and everything, but the guy was talking about like a different artistic way of interpreting dinosaur skeletons. And his argument was that there were a lot of dinosaurs that were actually birds. And that the scientists are saying, no, it's in between. And he's like, this is just a bird. Like, this is, I'll send it to you. I thought it was really
Yeah, I've
interesting.
seen some of those things where they, yeah.
Fascinating. Well, hey,
It is.
Did you meet anybody new at the Coffee with Pastor
I
yesterday?
did.
Yeah.
I met some singles and I met some families and I can't remember. I was trying to count up how many. Some I just saw they got tired of waiting and just turned and walked out because the line was, you know, but
I hate it when that happens.
I know. I wanted to get some. I wish I had somebody there to say, go grab them and tell them, you know, I'm sorry, I really would like to meet them. But I did.
Yeah.
I really did.
I'm
Where
glad.
were you?
I never made it to the cafe.
You did not.
I started walking out. I was in the lobby, and so many people started talking. And then there was like a few. So I was like, I'm holding a baby, you know. So I just started talking to people out there. Normally, though, I'm the holding tank for people that really want to talk to Pastor, you know, and I just entertain them until they're, oh, okay, Pastor's free. You guys go ahead. You don't have to talk to me anymore. And that's normally how it goes. But hey, I was going to tell you this. I've decided that when I want to meet the new church members, there's only one place to go.
All right, where's that?
And that is Costco in Hoover.
Oh, my
Because-
God. Yeah.
Because I can't, every time I go there now, people are like,
do
hey,
too.
do you do that? You have the
Yes,
same
it's the
thing?
same thing. And I think, all right, I know them. Who are they? You know, we're not in church, we're in Costco, and that flips you because you're not used to seeing people like that.
Exactly.
And I'm in there with shorts on and a T-shirt and a baseball cap. And, oh, look, there's Pastor. Oh, don't speak to him right now. He just doesn't look real good.
Yeah, he looks like he doesn't want to be here, you know. That's happened to me now twice in a row, and it's awesome. And recently just met the Powers family, new family to the church. They got this little baby. His name's Eason. Lindsay and Robert, that's their first name. Anyway, so they came up to me in Costco, and I was like, this is so great to get to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, why don't I get to meet these people on Sunday morning?
I know, it's like, what do? They make a mad dash for the door.
Well,
We're running out of
and
here.
that has nothing to do with the fact that you preached 80 minutes yesterday. I had no
Did I
idea.
really? No, I
I'm
didn't.
just giving you a hard time. But it is, I don't want to get into that yet. I shouldn't have said that. Here's the thing. You
Yeah.
are right. Yeah.
I don't want to get into it yet.
You are right. That I walked out. I'm like sprinting to get out to the cafe to be there with you and the other pastors, and people are just gone. Like they just immediately. So many people are like, "Well, I'm out of here."
I think they're running to get the golf carts.
Oh, really?
Since we've got the golf carts, I think
Yes.
they're running to pile up in the golf carts.
Do you know?
I took my first spin yesterday around the parking lot.
Okay. How
Early
did
yesterday
it go?
morning. It was
Did-
great,
did
man.
you
Those
drive?
things are great. No.
Oh, okay.
Rob. No, Patty's husband.
Yeah, Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Gosh, why in the world I couldn't think of Bobby's name?
Well, so-
took me around.
So
Yeah.
Bobby and Patty, they're like they're on the golf cart, and both of them are doing a cart.
Yeah.
And apparently, Miss Patty, if you get in with her, she's got the music blasting
Yeah,
the whole time.
yeah, yeah.
Like she is really letting it fly. My son was riding with.
These things are so nice. They've got stereo. They've got, it's cushioned ride.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just really nice.
Yeah, they got the NOS, that kicks in if you're late to church. They'll boost you up the hill. They had it going.
I even looked on the thing, and it had it's got Bluetooth on there and all that, and it's got a thing that records. They've already got 125 miles on this one. I told them, I said, That's not around this parking lot. Y'all are sneaking off
Yeah.
and going down to Chick-fil-A or somewhere.
No, Zach.
Well, on McDonald's on Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it was Zach. You know, he was practicing to become a truck driver, and so he was just taking it around town. But he's gone now, so we can't pin that on him. No, that's nicer than like any car I've ever had. I'm
Really,
getting in.
they are nice.
It like greets you. Hello, Pastor Kirkwood. You know, when you sit down in the seat. You're like, wow, I didn't even know you knew who I was.
This is Siri. Can I help you?
Careful, don't activate your phone.
I know.
But the people love and that was a good idea. I'm sorry that you didn't get the Ferrari one that you were talking
I
about.
know.
That was so funny.
I had to give up on the
Give up on the dream.
on the Rolls Royce golf cart that I had coming for me.
I don't even know that would be so funny if you were just cruising around in some kind of Rolls Royce.
Hey, well, listen, I pulled up here Saturday to run in to get some stuff in the office, and there was a Lamborghini in the parking lot.
Get out, really?
An orange, new Lamborghini, and a photographer. It was a guy and a photographer. So I pulled back around and I pulled up close to it, and I rolled my window down. I said, "Hey, I don't see one of these in my parking lot, every week."
Yeah. Was it
And
Jonathan?
the guy, I don't know. It was a guy who said, "Hey, this belongs to my client, and we're out here taking pictures." And da-da-da. He said, "But I park mine over here every Sunday." I said, "You've got a Lamborghini?" He says, "I make parts for them."
Yeah. That's Jonathan Probst, I think is his last name.
He says, "I make parts for Lamborghini." And he says, and I can lease one, and that's, write it off. And I'm thinking, well, maybe I could lease one and write it.
We absolutely need to do that. Jared, Joanna's not here, so actually, Andrew, get those numbers on my desk.
Yeah.
Pastor and I need to know what it's going to cost for us to do.
Lamborghini, matching Lamborghinis.
We're doing. Oh, okay. I thought we were riding
that
together.
would be-
Matching Lamborghinis, kind of a his and his
Yeah,
Lamborghini
yeah.
situation, and then but we're doing this show as carpool karaoke in the Lamborghinis 2 weeks from today.
Yeah.
In
about
other
that?
news, the Joseph Project
and
has
Jerry
been
Seinfeld
canceled.
will be in my car.
Isn't
doing-
that
we'll
not
be
the
doing
best
that.
show?
Yeah, I know.
The comedians. Has he done another season? I
I don't
haven't.
know. I've only seen a clip of those. I've never
Oh,
watched.
you've never seen one? Man, it is hilarious. What was the one? It is. I've always just loved Seinfeld, And shout out to John Claxton, friend of the show, who always sends me Seinfeld memes, and I just crack up every time. That's like my Andy Griffith, I think. I just know all the scenes. I think about it so often.
A show about nothing.
Yeah. Do you know? Actually, I tell you what. We're gonna take a break because I've got a surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
Andrew, get up here. Do you know that your newest member on staff, what his favorite show
Yeah,
is of
yeah.
all time?
I saw that. I saw just a clip where you were talking about your favorite shows, and
Yeah.
one was Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Did your dad
My parents introduced me to the show.
to that as you
Yeah.
were growing? Just like I did with all my grandkids.
Yeah.
I introduced them to that. And of course, once that gets in your bloodstream, that just... Now, what's your favorite episode?
Oh man, probably Barney's sidecar.
That's pretty good.
That's
The loaded goat
Yeah.
is hilarious. The haunted house is hilarious. People say, "What's your favorite?" I think it's whatever is on.
Yeah,
happens
in my opinion, after Barney left the show just kind of declined.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I don't watch it beyond the. I think he was on for 5 seasons, and I think 4 of those were in black and white, and 1 was in color.
yeah,
So after the 5th season, I just don't watch it.
yeah.
I
The
just-
colored ones aren't as good.
Yeah, yeah. I just stopped watching.
And you can tell as soon as you. All right, you're done. You can tell as soon as the. He's an intern, so we can just slap him around. You can. So you can tell as soon as you watch an episode that it's I'm not. This is not the right one. This is season 5 and beyond. I'm not.
I
I'm
don't
not
even.
touching this.
Yeah, I don't even mess with that.
I've told this story before, and but I'm telling it again because this was an extreme insight into who Pastor Mac Brunson was. I remember this was like you had just gotten to the church. Like I think you just started, and then you started in the summer, and I had a vacation scheduled, and so 2 weeks later I left or something like that just to get out of Dodge. and you had already told me that Andy Griffith was your favorite, and of course it's on because they got cable at the beach, and I took a picture of this just one frame of just a random episode. And immediately he was like, "Oh yeah, that's season 2, episode 4, when Barney gets voice lessons from Eleanor Poultice."
Yeah. Eleanora Poultice.
Eleonora Poultice.
Eleonora.
And I was like, "Wow."
She happened to be in the movie that he made, The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. You know.
Well, I told you the story about how my dad had me watch that movie, The Ghost of Mr. Chicken.
Is it not great?
And it scared the living daylights out of me.
Have you shown it to your kids?
No, I'm afraid to.
Oh.
When I was like it, for some reason it was not comedic at all to me. I was like, "There's blood on the piano," things like that. I was like so freaked out I couldn't sleep.
I remember one time as a kid, Daddy was watching, I guess it was The Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
I guess and I was sitting up in his lap, and I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to see it. It was about this doll or this dummy that was talking and, all of that kind of stuff. And I wanted to go. He wouldn't let me. No, you sit right here and watch this. It's just television. It's nothing to be afraid of. And I hate those things to this day.
The talking dolls.
I don't like baby dolls. I don't like them. I don't want to be around. And especially those ventriloquist dummies. I don't want anything to do with those things.
Yeah.
Man, I can remember. I can see it right now. It was in black and white, and I was sitting. Daddy had a brown leather recliner that was sitting there.
And you're just scared to death.
Yeah.
It's just TV, son.
Don't worry. You sit here and watch this. You're not going to be afraid of it. No, it just marked me for the rest of my life. That's all.
That is so fun. My dad, I remember I was like 12 or something, and he was like, "Son, I just watched this movie. You got to see this." And it was The Sixth Sense. Did you ever watch that one?
Yeah.
I still,
With,
I can't sleep.
Bruce Willis?
Yes. And Haley Joel Osment, the kid, the I See Dead People. I still, if I start thinking about that movie at night, I still can't go to sleep. It's
For real?
just, oh, God, and that was like 30 years ago.
I got to the
So
end
scary.
of that movie and did not realize the catcher in it. And Debbie said, "Oh, I figured that thing out at the beginning
Of course
of
you did.
And I said,
He's got the
"Well,
women's
there you go."
intuition,
So I didn't. I thought that was just as wild as it could
I
be.
thought it was an amazing film, but I will never be able to watch that. I just can't. I can't do any of the scary, the ghost
I
stuff.
don't watch much, but The Ghost of Mr. Chicken is just such a classic.
I should rewatch that. I bet it's funny.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
I know that he had that thing where he like pretended he was doing karate.
Yeah.
That was part of it. Been
And
studying it for
shaking.
years.
The Nervous Man. Oh my gosh, he was so hilarious.
I need to put that on and see if I can actually sit through it. I wonder if that's on Disney Plus.
I had a staff wife at one of my first churches, and they were from West Virginia, and her dad went to college with Don Knotts.
Get out.
Yeah, and I said, well, she said, we asked him about it. He said that Don Knotts would just stand for hours in front of a mirror just doing things, making faces, doing, just doing
practicing
stuff.
it,
So that's what they remembered about him from college.
Just amazing comedic timing, so funny, great character actor.
Yep.
I just love everything that he did.
Yeah.
I should watch
That's
more
good.
of that.
That's good old clean television.
Yes, good old-fashioned family fun.
Yes.
Well, speaking of that, let's talk about the apocalypse, shall we?
Okay.
Not funny. That wasn't a good. I thought that was a pretty good segue.
Yeah. It is. That was good.
Andrew liked it. But he's contractually obligated to laugh at all my jokes since he's here as the resident. He actually did an awesome. They had a night of worship for VSM this past week.
Oh, good.
And so they did like an hour of music, and he just did an awesome job.
Good. Did y'all have a good crowd?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yeah, good summer crowd, and then they're coming. Everybody's coming. Attendance seemed good yesterday with everybody coming.
Listen,
in.
you want to? Here's the funny part.
Okay.
We had one Sunday school class of adults with adults sitting on the floor because they couldn't get any more
Are you
chairs.
for real?
Yeah. In fact, Barry called me yesterday afternoon and was telling me about it, and he says, I've already called somebody and said, hey, I've got to have this room for next Sunday. We've got to move them already.
Yeah. That's a tough.
I think
that's
it
a
was
tough job.
I think it was the class with the Guthries and the I can't remember. who
Oh,
it was.
the brand new
Yeah,
class?
it was a new class. Brand new class. They couldn't get any more chairs. Deb said she went by there and said that there was a guy sitting in a chair with his head against the door, you know, in the
Blocking the
window
door.
you could see because they were just so tight in there.
Well, I'm not surprised about that at all. Last week, a lot of people don't know this. Behind the stage, there's a hallway that leads back
we
to
got a class in there.
that leads back to the baptism dressing rooms, and now people have to use that hallway in order to take this back stairwell
Yeah.
up to this closet that used to be.
Well,
or
I was getting ready to
classroom.
baptize yesterday morning in the first service, and they kept bringing. We kept
Yeah.
having people bring couples and
Yeah.
people through going up to that
Yeah.
Sunday school class. And I thought, well, have they put them back here in the bathroom now?
I'll tell you what. Okay, so if you go past the bathrooms, there's a stairwell on the far side,
Yeah.
and that goes up to where the walking track is.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
And then at the back of the walking track,
Yeah, I
there's
know
that-
the room.
Yeah,
It's a corner. It's a.
it's a beautiful room. They repainted. It's got these two awesome windows. I mean, it's a cool room, but it's inaccessible.
Yeah.
You have to go all the. So, yeah. So we are out of space. But speaking of, oh my gosh, I had not seen the children's space till yesterday. It looks
Nice,
awesome.
isn't it?
Oh, it's so nice.
Are they
and
through
the
with
colors.
it? I went down a couple of weeks ago and
Yeah.
was walking through, but they were still painting and working and.
I hadn't seen the finished product, but it's great. I mean, you can follow, and I need this. I told Jamie, I said, you did this color scheme thing for me, because like when you go to pick up your kid, she's like, okay, well they're in the green room,
So follow
just
the green.
follow the green. That's what I need. Everyone thinks that like, oh, he's on staff at the church, he knows where the rooms are. I don't know where the rooms are. Pastor keeps me cooped up in the worship center 90 hours a week. I never go anywhere else, okay? It's what I have to do
That's my
to
job.
earn my $16,000 a year.
That's my job.
Sorry, that's your joke. I shouldn't have stole that. But so anyway, I don't know where any of the kids' rooms are, right? So I'll like go down there, and Melissa Collins is always so kind. Hannah's kind to me. Everyone's kind, and they're like, they're in the Dolphins. I'm like, I don't know where the Dolphins are. Or they're in the, the Sharks or what? I don't know where the rooms are. I never know. But the colors, I
Yeah,
can follow the colors.
The colors on the floor, there's colors on the wall, and each room has a color. So if your kid is in the orange room, you just follow the orange line on the carpet back, and
Couldn't be simpler. I guess
really
unless
neat. It's so bright.
I'm gonna go down there and tell her I'm colorblind and just watch her face fall. I'm sorry, Jamie, this doesn't make sense to me.
Oh,
I
golly.
can't see this. So great day yesterday. More
It
to come.
was.
Choir's
It was.
coming back this week.
Good. Yesterday I thought, gosh, where's the choir?
I know.
I'm ready for them to be back.
The last time I tried bringing them back on Promotion Sunday, it was a disaster. So we waited and there was like 9 people up there. Everyone was trying to find their new class. So anyway, they're back this week.
Good.
And they'll be back for
The boys are back in town.
foreseeable. Well, and the women hopefully.
Yeah.
Although the men's choir did go well a couple of months ago.
Well, it was big.
It was awesome. I've been calling some of those guys to come to regular
The
choir.
ones that could actually sing.
Yes, no, we don't call the tone deaf ones.
Oh.
We just give them a participation trophy and say thank
Oh,
you, sir.
gosh.
We'll see you next year.
Good.
So,
I'm up and studying chapter
Yeah.
10 because that's going to be a
how many more messages are you going to do? Like
3,
2?
I think,
Okay.
this Sunday, and then 2 more, I believe.
All right.
I don't think I'll divide another one up.
We had a great. Well, do you want to say anything about chapter 10 before we talk about chapter?
No,
9?
it's coming. I've been up since 4 something working on it.
Oh, so you slept in today?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's right. Oh gosh.
So we had a great discussion. I live for discussions like this with my family. We're all sitting around the lunch table, just eating like leftovers and stuff. But everyone is sitting there, and we're all just talking about the message.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the kids' new classes and their new teachers, but then we're talking about the message. And Nell asked a great question that you had already answered, and she said, Dad, I'm a little bit confused about the sermon series because it's not about like Daniel in the lion's den and stuff. And I said, that's a great question to ask. I said, but this sermon series is not about Daniel's life, it's about Daniel's vision of what's to come. And that's when it finally clicked for her that these are Daniel's words, but it's not about the...
what's happening to him in that moment.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It's about what is to come. And so I told them, and I want you to give this to us again, because I'm amazed by what God did to give him this specific vision of when the Christ is going to be revealed with the triumphal entry.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel like people were not excited enough about that.
Well, I can't, generally I can read. They're hard for me to read from time to time.
What do you, oh, the people?
Yeah, the people. So I don't know. The clincher right here is in verse 24 when it speaks of 70 weeks. You have to keep that in mind. He's referring to 70 weeks. Weeks in the Hebrew can mean a week. It can mean a 7-day period, or it can mean units of time.
Right.
And here it is described as a unit of time, 70 units of time, which happen to be, a week would be 7 years. So he comes to 70 weeks of 7 days, which turns into, when you get that, that's 490 years.
The most famous example of the 7 or the weeks as years has got to be Jacob with Leah and Rebecca. Or
Oh,
Rachel.
yeah, when he worked for her and it seemed as
works
but
for Laban. Complete her week is what
Yeah.
Laban says.
Yeah.
Complete her week.
Her
and
7
then
years.
You can have,
Yeah.
okay, anyway, back to what you're saying.
Yeah. So and there are places in Scripture where that is done, where years are referred to as weeks.
Right. Right.
This is apocalyptic language,
Yes,
so
symbolic.
you've got a lot of symbol and a lot of signs that are in here. And God says, or Daniel said, or the angel says to Daniel, that's been decreed, that's been cut out. God has carved out 490 years here for your people. Now, when he says your people, this is the Jew. He's talking about the Jews.
Right.
Now, you see in chapter 7 and chapter 8, he's been talking about the Gentile nations.
Right, right.
He talks about, chapter 7, he talks about Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. Gets to chapter 8, he does the same thing. He talks about Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome. And so now he gets to chapter 9 to answer Daniel's prayer. And he says, I'm going to talk about your people now, the Jew, and your holy city, which is Jerusalem. So this shifts from the times of the Gentiles, which we would say we're in right now, when the gospel has come to the Gentile world. And Paul says that for the Jew, there is a veil that covers their eyes.
Yes, that's true.
But but during this last week, this 1 week. So that's why you get on down and you've got in verse 26, the 62 weeks and the 7 weeks, or I'm sorry, in verse 25.
Yeah.
There will be 7 weeks, that's 49 years, and 62 weeks, which is, I think that's 300 and
the 62, are you going to
yeah,
look at the
yeah,
look at your handout?
I'm gonna look at my.
I was disappointed that it didn't look like a bingo card this week.
I know. I tried to fit it into.
I'm trying to look for that veiled eyes.
It's 300 and some odd years there.
Yeah.
So you come back and you add the 7 weeks, the 49 years, and the 62 weeks, the 300 and some odd years, and what you've got is 69 weeks, or 400 and.
I'm going to get the calculator out. What is 69 times 7?
Yeah.
483 is what
Yeah,
this says.
483. There
Okay.
it is right there. 360 days because they're on a 360-day calendar. They're on the lunar calendar.
Yeah.
So you've got that 1 week that is left over. Now, I made comment that all of this was future to Daniel. Some of it is future to us.
Yes.
Everything
Right.
up until that last week that last 7 years,
Has been accomplished.
that's future for us.
Right.
And that is the week that we call the 7 years of tribulation. And that's what he begins to describe. These two kind of merge in 26 and 27. They kind of merge in together, but that's how Daniel could see it. They did not see the gap between the 69 weeks when Jesus was presented to Jerusalem, when he was crucified and all, and when Jesus Christ comes back to rapture the church.
Right.
They didn't see. He couldn't see it. And I gave the explanation of that. If you search the New Testament, you can look in Ephesians. I read through Ephesians early this morning. Paul calls the church a mystery. It's a mystery.
course.
It was a mystery to them in the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And the mystery in Greek, a mysterion, is something that you could never figure out. You have to be told what it is. It has to be explained to you. So these Old Testament prophets couldn't see the church. They just saw the first coming of Christ, second coming of Christ as a single event. And so that's why he, in verse 26 and 27, you've got two things that are blending. You've got the Messiah, the Prince, but you've got the Prince who is to come. And you have to make a distinction between those two. That's verse 26. Messiah, verse 25 is Messiah the Prince. Then you come down again in verse 26 and talks about Messiah being cut off. And then it talks about the people of the Prince who is to come. Well, he's talking about the Antichrist, who happen to be the people of Antichrist, the people of the Prince who is to come, the Romans. So he's blending 70 AD when the city is destroyed.
Right.
And he's blending Antichrist together.
Which is still yet to come.
Which is still yet to come, and he will lead what we believe to be a 10-nation confederation made up of former imperial Roman states or countries.
And a lot of what you're talking about, you're then blending with what we know from interpreting Revelation.
Yes.
Yes. So, because there's a lot of overlap
Yes.
here.
Apocalyptic literature interprets apocalyptic literature. But see, you saw how long I was over yesterday. What if I had gone to Revelation and started in and saying, let me show you this in the book of Revelation?
Yeah.
I would have never gotten, we'd still be in
Well,
there.
if you know it offhand, tell us right now. I don't know if you had the Bible all ready to flip
No,
over.
I couldn't do it. It's just, I knew by the time I had written this sermon, it was going to go over, and I wouldn't be able to get, to the 11th chapter and the 13th chapter
In Revelation.
of Revelation.
Well, I'll say this. This is much more simple than what you were saying, but I know we got to wrap up soon. And this was the thing that gripped my heart the most yesterday, in a good way. And that is, as we think about the second coming of Christ, as we think about the end of all things, it's not something for the Christian to fear.
No.
It's something for the Christian to be excited about, that the end of these things will come. You opened yesterday with that example of is it called Revelations, that TV show? Yeah. The whole thing is let's stop the apocalypse. Let's stop. When the reality is Christians should be expecting.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Let it come.
Now, I guess for anybody out there, and sometimes you shout out these people, any of those the post-tribulation rapture people, they're not nearly as excited.
Well, I just think Scripture teaches a pre-tribulation rapture. And a lot of people come and say, but I think we're going to have to suffer. I think we're supposed to suffer. I said, Jesus Christ went to the cross and suffered already for you. So if you're looking to suffer thinking that's going to make you more righteous, I'm sorry, it's not going to make you more acceptable to God.
Yeah,
His suffering has already been credited to your account.
My friend Jim Lanley still holds to a post-trib rapture. But he says, I am more than willing to change my eschatology midair.
Yeah.
Which makes me laugh. He's up there. He's like, oh, I guess we're going right now.
Through that 7-year period, the kingdoms of this world are going to become brutal.
Oh, yeah, towards the Christians and the Jews.
Christians. And it will intensify unbelievably. So that if anybody thinks they want to go through that, they need to rethink it. And by the midway period, unholy hell is going to be unleashed on the Jews.
That's what it was talking about there.
Yes.
Yeah, midway through the week,
Yeah.
then you have the
You have the
grain
all of
offering
that
cease.
stops, and the Antichrist goes and he sits on the throne. He puts a throne in the temple, and he goes and sits on it, and he demands that the world come and worship him as God.
Do you think that's a literal 7 years?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
7 year
Just
period.
like I take these others to be literal 7 years.
Yeah.
I don't think the world could handle it any longer than 7 years. I'm surprised. It's a shock to me that it's going to be 7 years, because I think it's going to be so awful during those 7 years. You pick it up in chapter 6 of Revelation, and from there on, you're going to have one peal of thunder after
Yeah.
another, one trumpet after another, one bowl of
Wrath.
judgment
Yeah.
and wrath after another, and you're going to think. I actually saw a car. We were coming through Atlanta
Okay.
Saturday,
Talk about the end times.
and yeah, you always you go through there. I looked on the back of a car, and it had a bumper sticker that said this: "Non-Judgment Day is coming." I've never seen that before. Non-judgment. I got up alongside, and it's this, older lady with white hair, and she's just driving that car. And I thought, well,
Did you
there you
make the
go.
sign of
That's
the
a
cross?
that's a liberal over there.
Oh,
but
boy.
I thought
Liberal
non-judgment
theologian.
day,
Just a liberal theologian.
non-judgment
means.
day.
Non-judgment day
Is coming.
Well, I guess let's leave it with this, because for the Christian, yes, we can be excited about that day to come. But if we are being responsible to our call as Christians, we need to be sowing a healthy fear of that day to the lost.
Yeah, we need to be sharing all we can share right now.
You said,
Paul uses in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, he comes and he says, comfort one another with
Yeah.
these words
Yeah.
about the rapture of the church, about the taking out of the bride of Christ from this world. He says, comfort one another. It is to be a comfort to the believer. It is given as a warning to those who are teetering and tottering and playing and dilly-dallying
Yeah.
with their decision about Christ.
well, Lord, lead us to share. You sent me that meme this week about we hear like however many hundred sermons and sing songs, but people share the gospel.
Zero.
Zero.
We sing over 500 songs every year. We hear, if you go to church on Sunday morning, you hear 52, 54 sermons a year. And we witness 0 times.
Oh boy, may that be a note of conviction to you. And I guess we'll see you later. You here all week?
I'm here all week.
He's here all week, so just come. And his calendar's wide open, so you guys just come on. Just come
I'm
on.
turning things down.
Come on down.
I can't take anymore.
But we're praying for Jeff because he's out of town with his wife Donna.
Jeff
He's
and
in
Donna,
Houston.
she's already in tests. She went over there at 6 o'clock this morning to start tests. So yes, we do. We pray for Donna Magookin,
Yes.
who is at MD Anderson today.
And Jeff, don't worry. We are going to hold down the fort while you're gone.
You better be terrified.
Yes, we've almost got the church's name change finalized, right? We're doing that at this next meeting. Okay.
Yeah, we've got 6 meetings between now and Jeff gets back.
Love you guys. Say goodbye, Pastor.
Goodbye, Pastor. Kick us out.